There's a disturbance in the force. The other day, I was walking by the TV, and there was a commercial for Ashley Madison. And they are marketing infidelity and making a killing doing it. And I became very upset because that shit has happened to me. This is really happening. All right, you're going to see some similarities to the episode I've done in the past called Backburner Blues. But anything that's worth its salt is worth repeating. It's really hard to talk to a woman with their mouth full of Peg D because all you're really going to get is vowels. And also, this goes into a little more detail how to detect when your old lady is getting her tonsils bruised behind your back. Are you ready? Let us begin. Halfway hooker. Now listen, if there's one or two of these on this list that's happening to you, it doesn't necessarily mean this is going on, but you might want to dig into it. Huge J bummer. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm just here to tell you the truth. Clam chowder injection. I'm alive today because of my gut feelings. All right, I turned left when people wanted to go right. I ducked when people stood up. They're dead and I'm not. All right, gut feelings work. If your gut is telling you something's wrong, guess what? Got her in. Oh. She confides in you, and all of a sudden, that stops. I wonder why. And that is usually because she doesn't want to get caught in her own web of lies. You find intimate apparel items that you have never seen. The double stroker. You've never seen that before, but she's got one. Basically, when you've been married to somebody, you know what they have, they know what you have. And if weird things keep popping up that you've never seen before, the lightsaber in the bedroom, and you're not Darth Vader. Yeah! There's a disturbance in the force. She starts playing the 3-shell Monty game with the wedding ring. It's on, it's off. She leaves the house, it's not on, it's on the table. She takes it off so she can tan, and there'll be no hints that it was there. Because they want to go back on the market. Slew her. You live with this person, you know their routine. You know what time they get off work. You know what time they're going to come home. You know what they like to eat. And all of a sudden, things change. They don't come home at 5 anymore. They come home at 7. And they can't explain where the lost time is, so there's no logical explanation.
I have to work late, or blah, blah, blah with work, and I got called into work.
Big red flag. Liar! A friend of mine that I interviewed has long since had a vasectomy. Got one at 27 at the birth of his 3rd child. 6 years later, he's going through his wife's purse to get the keys to move her car out of the driveway and discovers a pack of birth control pills in there. It's terrible. She pulled out the excuse, it regulates my period, blah, blah, blah. Pound sand up your ass. You're a lying hooer. Liar! Yeah, I think maybe she was sitting on some warm soup. Clam chowder injection. He's already cut and she's too busy being a slut. You could be Eskimo brothers to who knows who. Or you wind up doing the condom cleanup when you go out and you toss the car. Well, I wonder why somebody would be unwrapping a condom in the car. They're making balloon animals, that's it. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Got her in! No. The old lady comes home and she stinks like cologne. Chances are she's also got some fresh clam chowder down below, if you know what I mean. Or perhaps she's rubbing an old magazine on her because she doesn't have a job yet. Okay, this is another one. Her friends start treating you differently because there's only one of 2 reasons why. Herpes, gonorrhea, syphilitis, get away! 1, they know what's going on and they're very uncomfortable with the situation and they don't want to talk to you or get involved. Or 2, she has told them a bunch of shit about you that's not true and they think you're an ogre. And then they execute their plan because their friends support them. Kissing is a very intimate thing. If they quit doing it, boom, guess what? Got her in! Oh. They're not kissing you because her tonsils are getting rammed down her throat. You could be putting your face in the clam chowder. Just saying. She has a new email address. Well, you know why? Because she's communicating with somebody that she doesn't want you to see it. It happened to me, it could happen to you. A second cell phone appears that you do not have access to. And you know what you call those second cell phones, right? A burner. Or she guards the cell phone that she has like a hawk, so you don't get near it. Now listen, gentlemen, if you even have a gut feeling the old lady's running around on you, you need to go get tested, because HIV is no joke. Neither is herpes. Not that I would know or anything. Again, you know their routine. They probably jump on the computer 15 to 30 minutes to check email, then they're done. If they're on there for 3, 4, 5 hours, Guess what's happening?
Incest porn.
She's shopping for a new cock carousel. Tinder's just on the phone. That's like Ashley Madison in the palm of your hand. Just stop coming to bed. Again, intimacy thing, that stops. Very bad. And you can expect the divorce paperwork any day. They start using code speak when they're talking on the cell phone that you don't have access to. Caught in the bathroom talking for 50 minutes or a lot of whispering or going outside. I really didn't think girls pooped anyway. They're talking to somebody else, they're talking to the other piece of ass or whatever they're doing. Their shit does stink, especially when it's coming out of their mouth. Every time. The sex stops. Ah! We all know once you get married, that slows down anyway. But when it completely stops, it's quite barbaric. Guess what's going on? There's a disturbance in the force. You're not servicing it, it's getting serviced somewhere else. I want you to do this one favor for me. I want you to wreak some goddamn havoc. Oh wait, and I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Winning! The most important thing you can do while this is going on is you have to chill. You need to remain calm. Use higher level intelligence capable of lateral movement and laughter. You gotta keep your sense of humor about this. 10 to 15 years down the road, the joke's on her, not you. Holy shit! Every single computer in that house, you need to put a keylogger on it. Technology, yeah! You need to find out what's going on. Oh my God, he's preaching violating her privacy. And he's getting violated when he catches gonorrhea from her. Jesus Christ. Get a grip. Do everything within your power to get a detailed copy of all the phone records you can get. Some people might call that spying. In the Army, we call it recon. Now, if she has her own cell phone, she has her own name, you probably can't get that list, but we'll tackle that at the end. When this is all going on, she is no longer your wife or partner. She has moved over to enemy, and you need to treat her as such. Keep track of missing time, because you can't throw down a bullshit card unless you know what's going on. She's supposed to be home at 5 o'clock. She doesn't show up till 7:30. There's 2.5 hour gap there. You want to find out what's going on. Unless you have overwhelming evidence, they will deny it until they are blue in the face. When I found out this was going on, I paid off all my debts and basically burned up all my cash because they usually stick the dude with all the debt. But one of the guys I talked to actually joined Gamblers Anonymous, and then he joined AA. The key here is plausible deniability. Cleaned out all his accounts. When they went to divorce court, basically told the judge that he found out she was cheating on him. He fell back into booze and started gambling and lost all the money. Since it was done before the divorce was filed, there's nothing she could do. The money's gone. Even though it was in a shoebox and his brother's safe. That is genius! I only wish I had thought of it first, but alas, I didn't. But I'm not selfish, gentlemen. I'm sharing this information with you so you can cover your 6. Put a GPS on the car. Cover your 6 so it doesn't get stuck by any dicks. When this was happening to me, they didn't really have that kind of stuff. I went to the supply sergeant, doing the blues, and I told him my story. He's like, Pop, it's okay. I went back, he took out a bag, and I signed it out. And in there I had a GPS, infrared cameras, motion detectors. I mean, the whole deal of craziness. The laser, you point at a window, you can hear what's going on in the house. Now you can get yourself a GPS unit for like $125. You put it on your cars, it lasts for 10 days, and you'll basically be able to tell everywhere that car went in the past 10 days within plus or minus 50 meters.
Not exactly Christmas, is it? You expecting an exploding pen?
Find out everything you can and eat the bowl of shit all at one time. It's healthier down the road, because if you don't, it's just like a Band-Aid made of duct tape. It's better to get it all done at once than to have it trickle in over the next 3 to 5 years, because that's what's going to happen. Sooner or later, certain bits of information that are orbiting around are going to drop down. It's going to re-break your heart, and it's going to be a long, miserable process. It's quite barbaric. If she is doing this stuff behind you, you don't need that in your life. I don't care if you've been married to 1 year or 20 years. Cut it away. It's a cancer. 10 years later, you get to have retribution coitus. And this allows you to subpoena things that you couldn't get your hands on up here. The records for the second cell phone. You can get a credit report and see if she has credit cards that you don't know about. And then you can order statements for those credit cards, because I bet you she was using those to do all kinds of crazy, nefarious things. Because if you play your cards right, it's just the first shot to the heart. Let's hope you're not too late, because bitches give love a bad name. And then when you get the picture, you subpoena surveillance tapes of what's going on, because everywhere has a camera nowadays. You just look at the map, get the subpoenas, and build your case. This is how you coordinate to annihilate your target. You take off and nuke the site from orbit. the only way to be sure. Is it kind of diabolical? Yes. But gentlemen, there's a website out there called Ashley Madison basically promoting this kind of bullshit. So if you're one of those unlucky gentlemen who got married, because everyone has the right to be a sucker once, this may or may not happen to you probably half the time. Holy shit! And one of the main reasons I did this is because regular hookers, they get paid up front. Halfway hookers, they do this bullshit and they get the cash and prizes on the back end. All right, gentlemen, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because if you do, when it's your turn to deal with a halfway hooker, I'll let you store your box of money in my safe. Winning! Aliens! Concentrated acid for blood like my ex-wife. She didn't chew before she swallowed. That's awesome. Listen, this is a very uncomfortable situation, but this happens to dudes all the time. You bust your ass, you make 80 grand a year, you keep the lights on, you put her car, she has a car, she has clothes, a roof over her head, cable, food's paid for, and she's still, doing you dirty like that. So you need to know the symptoms, gentlemen.